So when working on Ikkyo, divide your Jo into 3 parts. So this is the first third, second third, last third. So we work with a third of the weapon. So for instance, this is Ikkyo. This is the basic pins, 6 pins. This is Ikkyo. Then you roll, you come around for Nikkyo. So Ikkyo to Nikkyo, or Ikkyo to Nikkyo, either way. Then Sankyo, right? Then we can change feet. Yankyo, a little bit of separation. Then you drop down to Gokyo. And then from here you tuck to Rokyo. So on the other side, you start with Ikkyo, Nikkyo, or around if you want to work the thumb, right? Nikkyo. Then press down, bring your hands together, right? This is Sankyo, inside foot right, Yankyo. Then for Gokyo, drop, 1 down, 1 up, right? So Yankyo, 1, 2, right? Gokyo, and then step and tuck. Let's do it again. So Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yankyo, Gokyo, Rokyo. Again, Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yankyo, change, Gokyo, Rokyo. You can do a variation, Ikkyo to Nikkyo, right? Variation, right? Ikkyo to Nikkyo. Again, Ikkyo, bring this here to Nikkyo, right? Ikkyo to Nikkyo. Then you can roll, Sankyo, Yankyo, change, Gokyo, Rokyo. Ikkyo to Nikkyo. Then you can change, Sankyo, Yankyo, Gokyo, Rokyo. So really trying to work the body mechanics, right? This is Ikkyo, right? When you go to Nikkyo, you can go here, or you can counter step here. Here, right? Sankyo, up for Yankyo, right? Change, Gokyo, Rokyo. Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yankyo, again, Gokyo, Rokyo. So just keep working this so you become fluent, right? Fluid. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you just work the drill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so you just keep doing this so you don't have to think about it. You're keeping notice you're always keeping contact on your weapon like you should be keeping contact on the body. No separation to change hand positions. No separation on the body. No separation to change hand positions. No separation. Stay in contact and learn to move fluidly and shifting your body from here to here to here to here, shifting, right? 1, 2, right? 3. Even if you do them out of sequence, let's say you go from Ikkyo to Sankyo to Nikkyo. That's good, right? Ikkyo to Sankyo to Nikkyo. That's good. 1, 2, right? Then you can come back. 3, 4, right? Just go with your movements, right? So you're going from here, right, to here, to here, to here. You should know your pins. Change, here, to here, right, to here. You should know these things. So you have to work these things so you don't think about them. And they just become fluid, and you're just working the muscle memory, working the muscle memory. Everything's a kata, everything is a form. Also keeping posture, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, change, 5, 6. So you're keeping, even when you're moving here, 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 right? You're keeping your posture. Keeping your posture at all times. 2, not slumping, right? You're here, you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here. Always keeping your posture. It's very important. So these are just some drills that I've worked on just to try to help me in my solo practice. Just trying to become more fluent and not really have to think about what I'm doing, more or less feeling what I have. One of the big mistakes, we try to force the technique and we don't have it. So doing these kind of things help you just to go from one technique to another based on what your opponent is giving you and what you feel. So keep working these drills as much as possible. It's a good solo practice. I would work them, 15, 20, even 30 minutes out of a particular practice. You can combine them with other things. But these are your basics. And I mean, a lot of times we practice these techniques at the particular level and we don't go back and refine them. So a lot of times we're at the higher ranks and we still do Ikkyo like a 5th kyu. Or we're a Nidan or a Sandan and we're still doing, we're uncomfortable with Yankyo, for example. Or we can't get to Sankyo fluently. So we have to work these things. We have to be fluent. That's going to be the key. To be fluent and fluid, right? It has to become a part of your nature, these things. You can't think about them in the spur of the moment. When you go for tests, you should look confident in that you know your pins, you know your pins, you know your pins. A lot of times people are testing and you can see them fumbling around with the grip, especially, like I said, especially bad at the higher levels. You should know these things, you should know these things, you should know these things. I always see, we're asking for example, Gokyo, and we see people always doing Ikkyo. And they're just habitual at this and not used to practicing this. That's a problem, or they don't know how to get in position for Yankyo. That's a problem at the higher levels. And you shouldn't accept it for yourself, let alone if you're a teacher, right? So work on these things ad nauseum. They help to build up your muscle memory, your vocabulary, your alphabet in Aikido from one thing to another. And that's what makes your techniques look really sharp. That helps your techniques look really, really fluid, really fluent at what you do, fluid in your movement. Keep working these things. It really pays off. In Aikido, especially, you have to be in love with doing the quote-unquote boring, repetitive things, because that's what's going to keep you sharp. That's what's going to make you very precise in what you do. You can know, hundreds and hundreds of techniques, and they all look sloppy. Yeah, you're fast, you're strong, you're doing all these things, but the technique is sloppy. It's not precise. You're not moving with precision. And this is what really matters. This is what separates someone from just being athletic, which is good, but also having the technical acumen. You want to be technically proficient. If you're athletic, that's a big plus, but as we get older, we may not be as athletic. So it's really going to be about yourself, how you've trained yourself over the years, your technique, your posture. We can talk about the internal stuff later, but really you have to build up a strong foundation. And, pins are the basics. Pins are the basics. Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yankyo, Gokyo, Rokyo. You have to know these things. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Practice these things as much as you can. If you have any questions about anything that I've done in this exercise or this class, shoot me an email. I'll try to give you further explanation of these things because they're all very, very, very important. I found a lot of benefit out of continuing to practice them. Okay? Thank you. So very important, when you do the Ikkyo exercise, what you're trying to do is as you cut down, you're stepping at the same time. So you're coordinating your cut with your step. I tend to use the inside foot, especially for beginners. This is fine with the foot back, that's fine. To me, it's a little more advanced because when people do this, they tend to twist a lot and use a lot of upper body strength. By stepping in, you're learning to keep your weight underside and drop your weight on the inside. So when you come in, you step. It's just like boxing, right? When the foot lands, the punch lands. Very basic, right? So when the foot lands, the punch lands, right? The foot lands, the punch lands. You're focusing all your power at that particular time, right? So you step in as you cut down. A lot of times you see people, they cut and then they step, or they step and then they try to push. Learn to have everything happen at the same time, and just work on, again, being fluid, soft, coordinated, right? Whether you do Omote or where you do Kura and you turn, right? That's fine. Also looks like Iriminage in this instance, right? But use your jo to develop, right? So you don't have to think about it, right? You cut, you step. Cut, you step. You cut, you step, right? Back to the pins, pin, right? Pin, pin, right? Ikkyo, step in, static. Just keep building upon these exercises. You can change the sequence, doesn't matter, but you're looking to develop a certain fluidity and coordination. We talk about mind-body all the time. We need to practice it. We just can't talk about it. So really make this a moving meditation, a Zen practice, right? We're using the weapon to train our bodies, using the weapon to train our mind, right? You may not have a, waterfall. It helps, I guess, but try to, relax your mind, calm your mind. There's no one in front of you, so you shouldn't feel that emphasis to force your technique or use strength. It's just you fighting yourself, right? And so you have to be cognizant of these things when you're working. All right? Thank you. Yeah, so a couple other words about pins. So everyone has a little different perspective about what they're doing when they're doing a particular technique and what they're trying to accomplish. For me, when I'm doing any pin, especially, I'm not trying to twist the joints. If you practice with certain people and they're always banging on your joints, they're twisting your elbow, they're twisting your wrist, you go home and you're feeling all, achy. I don't think that's a good practice. For me, the best practices are when someone's very effective, they've applied it, they've connected to my whole body, and I go home rejuvenated, not hurting. So if someone's concentrating everything on twisting your elbow, your joint, your shoulder, in my opinion, they're not connecting to your whole body. And that's, they're reverting to strength and they're localizing their energy. So when I apply a pin, what I'm trying to do is connect the ligaments throughout the whole body and to disrupt their frame or their structure. I'm not merely trying to twist their wrist, for example. For me, the whole thing is about breaking down someone's structure, breaking down their posture, and it's harder. It's a more subtle thing, but there's always going to be someone stronger than you, right? At some point, you're going to meet someone stronger. You're not going to be able to just twist their wrist or their shoulder. You have to learn to actually disrupt their whole posture. So that's just my interpretation of what I'm working on when I'm pinning someone. It's not so much that you pin them, it's how you pin them. Making that connection is maybe a deeper concept of Aikido and pins, but this is what I'm working on. Doesn't always work, that's why it's called practice. So think about these things when you're practicing with someone. To me, it's not win at all costs. Just because you throw someone or you pin them. How did you throw them? How did you pin them? That's what's really important. If you're physically stronger than someone, you may be successful. But when you're not, now what do? So you really have to think about how you're practicing and what is your end goal. When you get to be 60, 70, 80 years old, are you still going to be effective, or are you going to be less effective because you've only learned the physical, athletic aspects of your art? Technique is important. Internal development is extremely important, but you can't even get to any type of internal development until you master the basics and you actually know what you're trying to get to. So, keep those things in mind when you're practicing. It's very important. Thank you.